Dana White, big news launched yesterday. Dana White and Turki Alalshikh just announced a new boxing league promoting that the best will fight the best. I believe it's going to have more like a UFC type of structure. And I believe there's a video of Dana White actually explaining this a little bit more. It's kind of giving some of the details, Bailey. Let's go ahead and let's play that real quick, Bailey.
It's become this thing where, you have to be people to care about you. And that's all going to go away. There's a lot of guys out there that we're looking at that are going to be in this roster that have a lot of O's behind there. They're all going to fight each other. And what people want to see are great fights, and they want to know who is the best in the world. And like I said, when you put the great fight, the other thing that we're going to do is my son just went to that show this weekend. He said the live event was terrible. Disorganized.
You mean at Barclays?
Yeah. Disorganized, and we're going to clean that up. We're going to make the live events great again, too. The run of show will run faster. It won't take 9 hours to see 4 fights. These guys put on a fight and then have a podcast and then put on another fight and have a podcast. The show will run like UFC does. Fight after fight after fight.
All right, that's good right there. So, Steve, I got to ask you, our boxing expert, what's your take on this? Are you excited? What's your thoughts? And also, how will this impact the boxing world as is?
Nobody really knows until they give me a structure and a schedule and what's going to happen. I mean, who's going to be involved? I think a lot of people are jumping to conclusions until you tell me this is the actual format. This is how many times a guy has to fight. Personally, I would like to set up a system where every champion has to fight every 3-4 months. And if you don't, you're just automatically stripped. Doesn't matter how popular you are, how much money you make. You don't want to do your job, get out. Next in line, next man up.
I was going to ask you that, Steve. Do you think it's even possible to get these fucking prima donnas to fight?
Look, I think the current culture and climate of professional boxing, a lot of these guys say they want to be more active, but they've been bred not to be. I don't know if they could actually do it. I've said boxing would be so much better if every world-class fighter would fight just once or twice more, which means 3 or 4 instead of once or twice. And we got to be able to find a structure where even the biggest name fighters understand that, hey, I have to face that guy that nobody knows, maybe not for the money that I'm used to. Look, in every other sport, the first place team has to play a lot of mediocre to bad teams, but that's part of the league. That's part of the league format. And what I don't understand about the boxing fans who are so against it is for years, a lot of people said, we need to have more organization, more structure. We should be like a league. And then when this happens, all they do is bitch and moan because their preferred promoter or organization is not heading it. Look, like Larry Merchant once said famously, there's no saving it, there's no killing it. Whatever happens, happens, and I'll just report it. That's it. I don't get emotional over this. I don't believe until you get fighters who are willing to fight more often that this game is truly salvageable in the U.S. Load management has not worked for the NBA with the American audience. It has certainly not worked in boxing.
You don't think that, with Turki Alalshikh backing it, that they're not going to spend just crazy amount of money, especially to start, in order to get some of these big name guys to sign on and to get the Crawfords and Canelos or whoever of the world to be able to sign on to this? Because to me, to your point, it's the only way this works if they get the big name guys to actually come into this league, and now they're signed contracts to your point where, hey, you have to fight 3 times this year.
I guess, but I think that would work. But number one, there's a lot of speculation. Dana did not get into the specifics of what is going to really make up this quote unquote league. And I'm not even so sure a league format works in boxing. Boxing's always been a sport a series of business deals dressed up as a sport. That's what Jay Larkin, the late great head of Showtime Sports, taught me years ago. And it's right. Fights are basically made not out of athletic competition or to satisfy the fans, but really because it makes sense economically and there's safety in mitigating that risk. I don't know. Can you completely upend boxing to go 180 where everyone just fights everybody? This is what I don't like about a lot of fighters and managers. And I tell them all the time, you guys say you'll fight anybody till I bring up somebody. And they think, well, he's southpaw, he's too fast, he's too quick, or he runs. in other sports, you play who you play. So we're going to see if there can be a real culture shift. And, it is look, give me a format, give me your guidelines, and then I'll comment on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's ironic, Steve, too, because Smitty's got some good questions for you. It's ironic after this knee and this controversy that we just witnessed over the weekend that this drops. Like, it sounds like it's a save face type of thing.
No, it's not, because they have nothing to do with the PBC. They have nothing to do with one another. It's just that they were going to make that announcement on this time. Turki Alalshikh, I believe, is in the U.S. because he's got various press conferences and functions and meetings. That show on Saturday has nothing to do with Turki Alalshikh, Dana White, Sella. So I wouldn't put 2 and 2 together there.
Yeah.
Before we move on to some football here, has there been any updates on the Roach Tank situation with the ruling of the fight?
Well, Lamont and his representatives, led by attorney Greg Smith, who I know fairly well, they sent in a letter on Tuesday, which I expected, given the fact Lamont said I can't really talk right now to anybody. And they have basically said we're going to ask for a full review of the fight, specifically round 9, and then we would like to be ruled the rightful winner. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. I doubt it because, number one, there's no precedent for it. Number two, you're starting a slippery slope to a certain degree. I just can't see them revoking a decision, even though I think they have a great case. And there are other people that are more connected than I am, like Randy Gordon, former commissioner at the New York State Athletic Commission, who has said that he expects some sort of ruling or announcement to be made by the end of the week, and we are at it Thursday.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be locked into that. My only comment to that, and again, I like Roach as well as a fighter. My only pushback is that, let's say they do come back with the ruling and they rule him the winner. Is that the way you want to win? I don't know. Like, at the end of the day,
well, Smitty, I have a question. Do you think what happened on Saturday is the way you want to draw?
I hear you. I hear you. I just feel like if I know I didn't hurt him on that situation, I don't know if I'm about to go so hard to count that as a knockdown when I know it was just a weird.
When it was a knockdown, though.
I hear you. But
I mean, are we playing by the rules or not? I mean, Smitty, you just talked about we got to have structure in the sport. We got to be organized. We got to follow the rules. Except when you don't think so, Smitty.
I want the best to fight the best. That's the only reason why I said that. That's the only reason why I like this particular new league.
With that said, since you're a big boxing, you want the rules to be followed or not? Yes or no?
Yes, I do, Steve. I do.
There we go. Then let's go to the next subject.
I hear you. I'm just saying, as a competitor, Steve. As a competitor, I'm saying, if I knock you down, it's because I knocked you down. That's all I'm saying. I know Roach is your guy. I'm just saying.
I would say that if Pink was a competitor, he would have found a way to stay up on his feet.
Yeah, that's
Muhammad Ali did it. He had much more stuff in his eye against Sonny Liston. And you know what Angelo Dundee said? He goes, okay, kid, get out there and dance, motherfucker, because we're in it.